Good morning, children. Welcome to the first session of lesson number 15, probability. We generally use the terms possible, probable, chances, etc. for probability. All these terms convey the same sense that the event is not certain to take place, or in other words, there is uncertainty about the occurrence of happening of the event in the question. Probability is a quantitative measure of certainty, or in other words, in the theory of probability, we assign a numerical value to the degree of uncertainty. Though probability started with gambling, it has been used extensively in the field of physical sciences, commerce, biological science, medical science, weather forecasting, etc. In lower classes, you have learned about the experiments like tossing a coin, throwing a dice, etc. You will now learn to measure the chance of occurrence of a particular outcome in an experiment.
First, we will go through some of the basic concepts that we have studied in lower classes. That is, what is meant by an experiment? It is an activity which produces some well-defined outcomes. For example, the experiment of tossing a coin gives the two outcomes, that is head or tail. Now, what is meant by trial? Trial means performing an experiment. Then the next term is event. An event E for an experiment is a part of total outcomes of that experiment. Or you can say it is the collection of favorable outcomes. For example, on tossing a die, the event of getting an odd number on the die, the collection of outcomes are 1, 3 and 5. Now the next is impossible event. An event which does not occur at all when an experiment is performed. For example, when you are tossing a die, it has only 6 faces. So event of getting 7, that is not possible. So probability of getting 7 is 0. So the probability of an impossible event is 0. The next term is sure event. The event which always occur when an experiment is carried out. If we toss a die, the total outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let the event E be the number on the die be odd or even. That means whenever you are tossing a die, any one of the faces will occur. That means the probability of getting a number on the die, odd or even, is 1. It is a sure event. So probability of a sure event is 1. Now the next term generally comes in probability chapters, equally likely outcomes. What is meant by equally likely outcomes? Two or more outcomes are said to be equally likely outcomes if each outcome has the same chance of appearing as any other. For example, when we toss a coin, the outcomes for falling head and tail are equally likely.
The experimental probability or empirical probability of an event is given by P of E. P of E equal to number of trials in which E has happened upon total number of trials. Or you can write it as number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. While doing the sums, it is compulsory to write the formula at least once in each sum. Now, why you are using the term instead of probability, the experimental probability? Because It was based on actual experiments and adequate recordings of the happenings of event. Now, the probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. That is 0 less than or equal to probability of E less than or equal to 1. You have already discussed the probability of an impossible event is 0 and the probability of an sure event is 1. That means the probability of any event will lie in between 0 and 1. That means the probability of an event will never be a negative number or not more than 1. Moving to exercise 15.1, question number 1. In a cricket match, a batswoman hits a boundary 6 times out of 30 balls she plays. Find the probability that she did not hit a boundary. Here, number of times she hits the boundary, that is equal to 6. Total number of balls she played, that is 30. Number of balls not hits the boundary, that is total number she played minus number of times hit the boundary, that is 30 minus 6 equal to 24. Now you have to find the probability that she did not hit the boundary. Therefore, probability of does not hit the boundary equal to number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcomes. Here the favorable outcome means number of balls not hits the boundary, that is 24 upon total number of balls played is 30. So that is equal to 4 upon 5. Moving to question number 2. 1,500 families with 2 children were selected randomly and the following data were recorded. Compute the probability of a family chosen at random having number 1 2 girls, number 2 1 girl and number 3 no girl. And it is given in a tabular column, that is here it is given number of girls and number of families. 2 girls 475 families, 1 girl 814 families and no girls, that is 211 families. Here the total number of families, that is already given in the question 1,500. Otherwise you have to add the number of families given here, that is 475 plus 814 plus 211, that is total is 1,500. Now the question number 1 is number of families having 2 girls, that is given or you will get it from the table. 2 girls and number of families is 475. Now probability of number of families having 2 girls equal to our favorable outcome upon total number of outcome. Favorable outcome means the number of families having 2 girls, that is 475 upon total number of outcome means 1,500. 475 upon 1,500, by cancelling the common factors you will get 19 upon 60. Now question number 2, number of families having 1 girl, that is you will get it from the table, that is 814. You have to find the probability of number of families having 1 girl, that is equal to 814 upon 1,500. By cancelling the common factors you will get 407 upon 750. Now moving to the third question, number of families having no girl, that is given 0 girls, that is 211. So our favorable outcome is 211. You have to find probability of number of families having no girl equal to 211 upon 1,500. In the same question, it is given that also check whether the sum of these probabilities is 1. That means you have to add up the probability of two girls plus probability of one girl plus probability of no girls. That is 475 upon 1500, 814 upon 1500 plus 211 upon 1500. So you will have 475 plus 814 plus 211 upon 1500, that is y 1500 upon 1500, that is 1. So sum of the probabilities of an event will be always 1. Moving to question number 4. Three coins are tossed simultaneously 200 times with the following frequencies of different outcomes. Outcomes and frequencies are given. 3 heads occurring 23 times, 2 heads 72 times, 1 head 77 times, no head 28 times. If the three coins are simultaneously tossed again, compute the probability of two heads coming up. That means here our favorable outcome is how many times two heads are coming up. So the total number of times the coin tossed is given by adding all the frequencies, that is 23 plus 72 plus 77 plus 28, that is 200. It is already given. Total number of times coin tossed. Then probability of getting two heads, that is number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcome. Our favorable outcome is 72 and total number of outcome is 200. By cancelling the common factors you will get 9 upon 25. Moving to question number 5. An organization selected 2,400 families at random and surveyed them to determine a relationship between income level and the number of vehicles in a family. The information gathered is listed in the table below. And it is given monthly income and vehicles per family. Vehicles per family, you are having the subdivision. 0 means no vehicles, having one vehicle, two vehicles and above 2. While doing this type of sums, you have to study the table carefully. Suppose a family is chosen, find the probability that the family chosen is, the first one is earning rupees 10,000 to 13,000 per month and owing exactly two vehicles. So you move to the income column. In that, the income given is 10,000 to 13,000, owing exactly two vehicles. That means 10,000 to 13,000 having two vehicles is how many families? 29 families. Okay. The same way, earning rupees 16,000 or more per month and owning exactly one vehicle. So 16's income is 16,000 and more, owing exactly one vehicle. So this is the column having one vehicles, 16,000 and more, having one vehicle is 579 families, 579 families. Now question number 3, earning less than rupees 7,000 per month and does not own any vehicle. So income is less than 7,000 and not having any vehicles, that is 10. 10 families are not having any vehicles whose income is less than 7,000. Fourth question is earning rupees 13,000 to 16,000 per month and owning more than two vehicles. So their income is 13,000 to 16,000 and they are having more than two vehicles. that means above 2. That is, you are having 13,000 to 16,000 monthly income persons are having 2 vehicles and above is 25 families. Next is owing not more than 1 vehicles. That means it will be no vehicle and 1 vehicle. So you are adding up all the families having no vehicles and having 1 vehicles. Now you can move to the sum. Here the total number of families, that is already given, 2400. The number of families earning rupees 10,000 to rupees 13,000 per month and owning exactly 2 vehicles is 29. Therefore, probability of a family earning rupees 10,000 to rupees 13,000 per month and owning exactly 2 vehicles equal to number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcomes. That is, our favorable outcome is 29 and total number of outcome is 2400. Number 2, because the number of families earning rupees 16,000 or more per month and owning exactly 1 vehicle is 579 families that we have already discussed above. Therefore, the probability of a family earning rupees 16,000 or more per month and owning exactly 1 vehicle equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes, that is 579 upon 2400. Moving to third question, the number of families earning less than rupees 7,000 per month and do not own any vehicles. That means the family earning less than 7,000 and not having any vehicle. That is 10 families are there. Therefore, the probability of a family earning less than rupees 7,000 per month and does not own any vehicle equal to number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcomes, that is 10 upon 2400, that is 1 upon 240. Moving to question number 4, because the number of families earning rupees 13,000 to rupees 16,000 per month and owning more than 2 vehicles. There are 25 such families. Therefore, probability of a family earning rupees 13,000 to 16,000 per month and owning more than 2 vehicles equal to our favorable outcome upon total number of outcomes, that is 25 upon 2400, that is 1 upon 96. Now question number 5, because the number of families owning not more than 1 vehicle equal to number of families having no vehicles plus number of families having only 1 vehicle. So you are adding the columns of number of families having no vehicle plus number of families having only 1 vehicle. That is 10 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. That is the number of families having no vehicle, that is 14, and having 1 vehicle is 160 plus 305 plus 535 plus 469 plus 579, that is 2048. 14 plus 2048 equal to 2062. Therefore, probability of a family owning not more than 1 vehicle equal to, our favorable outcome is 2062 and our total number of outcome is 2400. By cutting down the common factors, you will get 1031 upon 1200. Moving to homework, in exercise 15.1, the sums that we have discussed in the class and the question numbers 3, 6, 7 and 8 you have to write it in the notebook. Other than that, you have to refer example 9 and 10 and write the sum in the notebook. Thank you.